Warlock, Triumph and Agony, 10 tracks with 39 minutes, the fourth and final studio album from the German five-piece, released September 1987 by Vertigo and Mercury, produced by Joe Balin, recorded at Power Station in New York and Cajun Recording Studio in Philadelphia. 3 singles were released, All We Are, East Meets West and For Immer, taking the album to number 8 in the US and number 54 in the UK, while going gold in Germany. This album had quite a different lineup to the previous one, with a new bass player and guitarist in this one, as well as 3 guest drummers. Go for it.
They got 8 in the US, straight up. Or 8 on the rock charts.
80.
Oh, 80. I thought you said 8. I mean, Jesus.
80.
Right.
80 in the US, 54 in the UK.
Okay. I've never sat down and listened to this album in full, I don't think. This is a pretty kick-ass hair metal album. You know, like if you put it in that category. And I'm surprised this wasn't bigger. Being released in 87, it ticks a lot of boxes for that. And if you're putting it up against Leader's album...
Well, here we go.
It kicks the bejesus out of it, I would have thought. Maybe it wasn't quite radio friendly enough because it is that little bit heavier. You know, it's got
87 though.
Yeah, I mean, it's going up against your sort of Skid Rows and Gunners, and I don't know. Look, I thought this was really solid. The guitar sounds great.
Yeah,
the solos are incredible and really, you know, that fit that genre. That, you know, they've got to be that way, and it ticked every box. Doro's got a great voice. A couple of times I think she spends too long at the top of her register when she can...
She can go. She's got a fair range.
She does, but she spends too much time up there and loses melody a little bit, I think.
It does get a bit pitchy, yeah.
Yeah, and it tends to grate. You know, like, come back down a bit and give me a bit, you know.
Because of that semitone, not the whole tone. It's that difference between a semitone. If it's semitone is always more glaring than a whole tone.
Yeah, that's probably it exactly, actually. The ballad Make Time for Love is great and, again, manages to avoid the pitfalls of the ballads of the era. It's a really strong song. Lyrically, the album is really good. Again, avoiding a lot of the cheese and, you know, silly stuff that everyone was sex, drugs and rock and roll. It doesn't... No,
it doesn't do that. There's some big rallying cry kind of stuff on it. Yeah.
Again, for 1987, where we all know what else was around, I think this really stands up in the genre. I think it was really, really good.
It's flying under the radar.
Yeah. I guess they had no interference from the label. Otherwise... Yeah, if the label was interfering in this, I'm sure they would have pushed Give Me a Cherry Pie or something like that. You know, and that's not there, which probably cost it in a lot of ways, unfortunately. I really enjoy the overall sound on this one. I had a great time. If you like your hair, glam metal, and you haven't covered this one before, definitely go back to it. I loved it. I gave it 8 out of 10.
Nice.
The highlights were All We Are, Touch of Evil, Make Time for Love, and East Meets West.
Well, speaking of inspirational women for this episode, I reckon Doro is fucking right up there. Go and look at her career, what she's gone through, and how she has wedded herself to her music. She has sworn off of her family and all that sort of stuff to focus on music. So I reckon that is inspirational in and of itself.
She should have been on more teenage boys' walls in the 80s than she was.
True. There's a whole lot of bad jokes we can make there, but I'll leave them alone. Big opening track with the iconic song All We Are. It's a big time 80s hard rock and metal kind of thing there. Vintage 80s production, big reverbs, powerful vocals, big guitars, rumbling bass and pounding drums.
What more could you want?
It's a little bit dated today, but it does hold up very well. This is one of the ones that does suffer a little bit from time, but it does still sound pretty good. I love Doro's voice in this one. I know what you're saying about the semitone at the top end, but she's got a unique tone and inflection that's actually nice to listen to, and I reckon... She's almost, it's a big call, but she's almost like the women's answer to Blackie Lawless in some respects.
Yeah, I don't think it's unfair.
It's just what the impression I got. Just the like Blackie was really aggressive, but he had a beauty to the aggression. I think that Doro has the same sort of quality to what she does.
Yeah.
There's some big riffs and solos in this, as you expect, which is going to make him happy. The track order is good as per the era as well. It's got that softer track right in the middle of the album, but the overall flow and diversity is good on this one. And there's some darkness and menace on this too, which is nicely done. Maybe that's why it didn't cut through quite so much. It was a little bit more darker than a lot of the other stuff that was kicking around at the time. Nice, just different groove on this as well. All in all, it's a good record, right out of the heyday of the era. With everything going on behind the scenes, with the lineup changing and all that stuff, it's easy to understand how this became the band's last album, but a lot of these songs are still on Doro's live set today, which says something about what they accomplished with this record. And I think, again, people should do a lot more reading up on Doro and her career. She is one persistent fucking woman. The ability to get the name Warlock. Just what she had to go through to get the name back, to get the rights for it all back was persistence personified. As I said, it's a little bit dated, but it's still a fun listen. That's what this music was and is all about. It's just fun stuff. Feel good music. Big anthemic moments, like I was saying. Great for the live audience. And like I said, I can see why a lot of these are still a part of Doro's live set today. If you like 80s rock and metal, you will like this. If you don't, you won't. It's that simple. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's some very good stuff on here. I gave 7.5 out of 10. All We Are, I Rule the Ruins, East Meets West, and Cold Cold World, my standouts. Check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think.